Dolphins trade pitch nets surprising first-round pick for $90 million star. At this point, it's a matter of when, not if, for the Miami Dolphins moving on from Tyreek Hill. Hill has still shown that he can make explosive plays for the Dolphins at 31 years old, but for the most part over the past year and 3 weeks, he's been very average for his sake. At his best, Hill clearly dominates the NFL as a top wide receiver and therefore commands elite recognition. However, playing like he does now, Hill struggles significantly, so he might rank outside the league's top 5 to 10. Does Dolphins-Chiefs trade for Tyreek Hill make sense? Could a trade resolve the situation quickly? Consequently, the Dolphins and other teams across the league must carefully evaluate options. Moreover, if the Dolphins plan to move on from Hill, they must secure significant value, though other teams hesitate. Among the teams that could be are the Kansas City Chiefs, with Julian Fedulin of Fansided proposing a trade idea to send him back to Kansas City for a 2026 first-round pick and a 2027 fourth-round pick. After all, why shouldn't we have fun at the Miami Dolphins blow-it-up fireworks bonanza spectacular, TM? They are so broken, and it has felt like years since head coach Mike McDaniel looked like the latest in the NFL's line of young offensive geniuses. Tua is broken as a quarterback, and on offense, no one should really be untouchable outside of Jalen Waddle. Keep in mind, by the way, while Tua was devolving in 2024, Hill's down season still saw him post nearly 1,000 yards, and that could be easily attributed to him ceding nearly half his target volume to the ascendant Devon Achane. At 31, Tyreek Hill still has plenty of good football left, and he should get a chance to use it up for not just any contender, but the one he helped build. And since Kansas City is in such a win-now mode, you could say that a first and fourth rounder are a cheap price to pay for Patrick Mahomes' first love, still in his prime, he wrote. What could the Dolphins get for Tyreek Hill? Getting a first-round pick in return for the Miami Dolphins would be a dream, but it seems very unlikely. Not only has Hill not played as well as he typically does over the past year, but he's on a $90 million deal. As things stand for the Kansas City Chiefs, there wouldn't be much of a reason to go out and make that big move regarding a first-round pick and his salary. Do the Chiefs want to reunite with Tyreek Hill? Despite rumors suggesting Hill desired a trade after last season, Diana Rossini of The Athletic reported that the Dolphins currently have no plans. Furthermore, Rossini added that Kansas City Chiefs general manager Brett Veach remains unwilling to call the Dolphins regarding a potential reunion. As for what's next, I was told the Dolphins don't have any plans right now to trade Hill. This team needs to win, and Tua Tagovailoa needs Hill to make the offense explosive again. The receiver is also currently being investigated by the NFL over allegations of domestic abuse. But if the losses pile up, expect the phones to ring in Miami. And if you're wondering whether Brett Veach, the always savvy GM in Kansas City, might be tempted to pick up the phone and arrange a reunion with his former star receiver, I'm told the focus for now is on getting Xavier Worthy healthy as the Chiefs await the return of Rashee Rice from a 6-game suspension, she wrote. The Miami Dolphins have never been a franchise afraid of swinging big. From the bold hiring of Mike McDaniel to blockbuster trades for Tyreek Hill and Jalen Ramsey, the Dolphins have built an identity on speed, swagger, and star power. But when whispers emerged of a new trade pitch that could land Miami a surprising first-round pick in exchange for one of their $90 million stars, fans and analysts alike were left stunned. The pitch, reportedly floated behind closed doors among front office executives, centered on a question that every contender eventually has to ask. How much star power is too much, and when does it become smarter to flip a name for future capital? The $90 million star in question, though not named publicly at first, was speculated to be either offensive tackle Terron Armstead, Pro Bowl cornerback Xavier Howard, or even the much-discussed Tyreek Hill, whose contract hovers around that gaudy figure. All three are pillars of Miami's roster, but all three also carry questions. Armstead has battled injuries, Howard has faced age-related decline, and Hill's off-field distractions have raised eyebrows despite his on-field brilliance. The idea was simple, if not shocking. Send one of these high-priced stars to a team desperate for proven talent, and in return, reel in a first-round pick that could secure the Dolphins' long-term future. At first glance, the logic seems cold. Why part ways with players who define Miami's current contender status? But peel back the layers, and the vision becomes clearer. The Dolphins are in a race against the clock with Tua Tagovailoa's rookie contract window now closed. With Tua already locked in at franchise quarterback money, every dollar counts. Roster building shifts from hoarding stars to finding balance. Suddenly, the value of a first-round pick, cost-controlled talent for 5 years, looms larger than ever. In fact, one executive reportedly compared it to the Rams' famous "F them picks" strategy coming full circle. At some point, you have to reload. Miami's been in win-now mode, but you can't stay there forever. A first-rounder for an expensive veteran? That's how you reset without falling apart. The real shock, however, wasn't the logic. It was the suitor. The surprising trade partner pitched in these conversations? The Chicago Bears. Chicago, flush with cap space and desperate to surround rookie quarterback Caleb Williams with proven playmakers, has quietly let it be known they're willing to pay for elite talent. Whether it's Hill's game-breaking speed, Howard's lockdown ability, or Armstead's veteran leadership on the offensive line, the Bears see value in a shortcut to contention. For Miami, the fit is almost too perfect. Ship a $90 million star north, pocket a first-rounder, and reload in the 2026 draft with another young cornerstone. The Dolphins could still compete now while also planting seeds for the future. The fan reaction, as expected, has been chaotic. Social media split into two camps. Those who see the genius in selling high, and those who view it as betrayal. Trading Tyreek Hill? That's insanity. He is the Dolphins' offense. One fan fumed online. Another countered. First-round pick for a 30-year-old WR making $30 million per year? That's highway robbery. You take that deal and run. In truth, the debate isn't about whether the star is great. It's about timing. Hill, Howard, and Armstead all bring elite skills, but they're also entering that phase of their careers where decline and injuries lurk. Trading one now could net Miami maximum value before the drop-off becomes obvious. Mike McDaniel, for his part, danced around the speculation when asked about the possibility. "We're in the business of winning football games," he said with a sly grin. "Who we win them with, that's for the front office to decide. But I'll say this, I love the guys we have. They make my job easy." It was a classic McDaniel answer, clever enough to dodge, but sharp enough to fuel the flames. If the trade were to happen, the ripple effects would be enormous. Imagine Tyreek Hill in Chicago,